We live.
Oh, awesome.
Just send it.
Yeah, once you send the address, I'll share it around and open it and everything.
Last stream, let's go. Okay. Wait. Yeehaw! Beautiful thumbnail. Ooh. Yeah, so I mean, I think, like I said, I think Austin's house is pretty close to where you live, actually. So if you wanna be there in person, awesome. If not, that's totally all right.
Okay.
If you decide to go, I'm happy to pick you up after one.
Okay. Yeah, I can look at the address and see what's going on.
Ooh, I am so cozy.
I'm pretty sure I shared the right thing. Yeah, there we go. Cool. All right.
I feel like we should probably. Ooh. We probably should have posted this on our Facebook or something.
Oh yeah. Why not? Well, I announced it. I posted it on Twitter just now.
Yeah. Lovely. Thank you.
Not sure how much that will help because
Hey,
I think Mickey was probably one of the only people among my Twitter connections that has responded much.
You know what? I have access to the Facebook. Let's just do it. Let's just send it.
Oh no.
Oh yes.
Oh, Connie Morales says hi.
Connie.
Hello.
Connie. What's up? How's it going?
Sorry, do you know that person?
Nope.
Oh, okay, cool. Hello. Clearly, we're just as casual and as we were last week.
We're professional streamers.
We're not sure how many will show up this time either, but we're happy to just like last few times. We're happy to answer as many questions as possible, and also we're sharing the recruitment this video link right now in case anyone wanted to hop on for in the next hour or so.
Whoa, I do not know how to spell happening.
Yeah, hi, Connie. I don't think I recognize your name from any of the previous Q&A streams or anything. So good to have you here. Oh, okay, sounds great. Yeah. So is this the first one of our Q&A things you've been to, Connie? Remind us, or remind me anyway.
Sure, let's just do
I don't know if you.
Basically, at this point, Connie, it's just going to be a conversation with us and you, because that's just kind of where we're at right now.
And anyone else who happens to show up as well. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Connie was at the very first one.
First one.
Okay, cool. In that case, you probably heard about, heard the basic spiels about all of our different, our active projects right now. As a reminder, I'm Nick, sometimes known as Barendipitous. So this is Drew. Drew is one of our, sometimes we call him Mr. Banner because he's one of the founders of Banner Media Studios.
Nobody calls me that.
Okay, maybe not calls you, but it's part of your name, Drew parentheses Mr. Banner. Anyway.
So Connie, if you were here on the first stream, did you have any questions and did they get answered? Because I feel like that one was just utter mayhem for me.
It was a bit there was a lot going on. You remember? Cool. But yeah, any additional questions?
Yeah.
Things that weren't clear last time.
Hiya.
Excuse me while I'm eating dinner. Sorry. My wife and I just came back right after her work.
hey, you know what? We each got to have a stream where we're just scarfing something. So last time it was me, this time it's you. Just got to keep it balanced. I feel like this thing isn't very accurate when it's showing
the YouTube stream numbers. It doesn't seem to be.
It's all weird.
Oh, Pine Tree Dan, completely new. Found this via a classmate.
Yo,
welcome.
What's up, buddy?
Thanks
for hopping in.
Yeah.
What's crackin'? Yeah. So, okay. Now that we have somebody who's never been in here, let's just go ahead, give the rundown. Basically, this is just going to be kind of chill, low key. We're just going to talk about what we do, our projects, a little bit more about us, maybe. Get to know y'all a little bit more, and just kind of answer some questions. Like I said, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot of people here today, so that's fine. We're just gonna basically talk to you guys.
Answer your questions
for the next little bit here.
Nice. Yep.
So just to kind of start up,
introduce ourselves or something. So I guess
sure.
Pine Tree Dan.
Pine Tree Dan.
Sorry if this is a review for you, Connie, as well. Again, if any other questions that you have, Connie, we're very happy to answer, and like any other confusions that you might have or whatever.
Yeah. Send it out. We're just chilling, talking, and.
But yeah. So again, in some places, especially on Twitter, I'm known as Serendipitous, but my name is Nick as well. So yeah, I'm a writer and director, a writer and a director in Banner Media Studios. I'm mostly involved in some radio show projects that are happening right now, but I'm also involved in Banner's animated show project called Dissonance.
Nick's doing a couple things right now, quite a few things right now.
Yeah. Actually, I think because people asked about this last time, I'll also mention, I guess, my background or any credentials I might have to be a writer or director. So,
did somebody question about it the last time?
So not last time, but the first time, people asked about like our experience.
Yeah.
And that could be something we could talk about in introduction.
Camilo, what's up? Camilio.
Oh yes, hello, welcome.
Lacking.
But yeah, a lot of people in Banner are not necessarily professional animators or professional writers and things like that. But at least speaking for myself, I do have a bit of director and writing experience, especially for the radio show medium. I don't really have any like experience in like art or animation, but writing, research. I'm a librarian by trade. I have a master's degree in library science. I also minored in editing and proofreading in college. But I've always had like this creative itch to to write, to make cool stories and things like that. So, and very glad to have the opportunity here in Banner so far.
Cool. Yeah. So as far as what I do, I'm just kind of the everyman of Banner. Basically we have a few different projects that we're working on. I'm just making sure that everything is working. is kind of what I'm doing right now. I do a little bit of music, I do a little bit of writing, I do a little bit of directing, and that's just kind of how we're doing things right now. With being a startup with just a bunch of passionate people, we are just doing our best to just wild out and make some stuff that's cool. And so we have a few people that are a little bit more organized and are able to keep us on track. I am not one of those people.
He's not one of those people.
And so, that's kind of me in a nutshell. As far as the projects that we're doing right now, like Nick mentioned, we do have some radio show mediums that we're going to do like podcasting type of stuff, but like story-driven podcasting, not just like a let's chat for an hour and a half kind of podcast.
Instead of podcasts, they're more like radio plays,
radio
shows,
that's
audio dramas,
that
kind of thing.
Yeah, that's the one.
If you want, I guess I can go into more detail about those, and then as usual, you can talk about dissidents.
Sure.
So cool. So yeah, again, I'm even though I am to some degree involved with each of these projects, I have mostly been involved with the radio show side of things. So this past month, Banner Media actually published their very first show, and Drew is going to share a link to this pretty soon.
As soon as I stop burping.
Excuse me. It's called Almost Home. It's a radio play in 3 parts. Those of us we have a larger radio show that we are planning, me and the rest of the radio show team are planning on making. I'll talk about that in a moment. But Almost Home was kind of a thing where okay, we had to put the bigger project on hold for a little bit. Why don't we just make something small and just so that Banner Media, and again, it's the first thing that Banner Media was able to produce, the first production for the studio, which we're all very happy about. So yeah, Almost Home, it was a space story about isolation, inspired a lot by the isolation brought on by by COVID-19.
Quarantine.
By quarantine and everything. And so we channeled some of that, as well as some cool world building and sci-fi kind of interesting things into Almost Home. And we've had a pretty good amount of success with it. We are approaching 400 total plays in total between all 3 of the episodes. And also, right now, we are entering the production phase of a sort of one-shot prequel, like a one episode prequel to Almost Home as well. So there's that. In a couple months, though, we will start getting back into our largest radio show project, which we are calling Our Ears Are Witness. A couple interesting things happening with this one, which is why it's taking us a while to get it going. First of all, the plot of it is it's kind of like if you've heard of The King in Yellow. It's part of the Cthulhu. It's part of the Cthulhu mythos. Not written by Lovecraft, but one of his contemporaries wrote a short story called The King in Yellow, which is about a play that drives people mad when they read it. I think read the second act or the second half or something. So I thought it would be kind of cool to do that, but radio. So the radio show is called Our Ears Are Witness, and within that show, people are coming across this weird radio show that's driving people insane, kind of like a Beautiful Mind sort of thing, like finding connections and conspiracies when there might not be any there and that kind of thing. So sort of radio showception. So just I'm excited about the sort of the possible ways we could play around with that alone, but also Drew especially wanted to have a Homestuck approach to it, meaning that we're hoping to be able to the way that we host it on a website or something, and we have someone working on the technical aspects of this, but allowing at the end of each episode, allowing the audience to give some feedback or give an answer to something and have that influence what happens later in the show. So again, just like how in Homestuck people gave their input and that influenced the plot later on. So that is Our Ears Are Witness. That is the larger, more ambitious radio thing that we're doing, along with alongside these sort of smaller things that we're doing kind of in the meantime while we're waiting for other things to catch up. So, but yeah, very excited about that. And again, within the radio show team, my primary responsibilities have been I've been the one writing most, not necessarily all of the scripts, but most of it. Some people have been helping here and there, as well as also directing the voice actors and reading sessions and things like that. So regarding recruitment, then we're looking for more audio engineers. We're looking also for more writers as well, especially those who have experience with writing in a screenplay or a script kind of a thing. And so if any writing samples that you want to submit, probably the best ones will be in a play sort of format or a screenplay format, if that makes sense. So yeah, that's what I've got for now for the radio show projects.
Cool. Yeah. So yeah, Nick nailed it. That's going to be a really fun project. Like you said, mostly looking for audio people, writers. We do have potential to be doing a little bit of voice acting in there as well, but we've that's a little bit farther down the road.
We have a handful of voice actors in Banner, and if you have some voice acting talent, then we'll certainly look we can certainly look for opportunities to use that if it makes sense.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
but mostly audio and writing for radio show things.
And as far as questions, if you guys have any questions as we're going over any of this stuff, feel free to throw it right out. We're basically just going to talk until you guys say something to us.
Yeah.
As far as our other project goes, Dissonance is going to be a fully animated feature. And it is a lot. The basic premise of the story is that it is an action adventure that follows 5 young adult teenager age range people as they, typical anime save the world type of thing. Basically they're the setting and the world is very unique, very fun. But the magic system is probably my personal favorite part.
One of my favorite parts too.
it's gonna be sweet. So the way that the magic system works in Dissonance here is that basically so like in X-Men, when somebody does like a little like ice attack thing, it's like kind of thing, right? In Dissonance, anytime there is any type of magic that is used, it is music, meaning what the audience hears as like the soundtrack and like the score of the show is the music that they are using, and it will manifest visually in a few different ways, and interesting things will happen there. But that's going to be a whole lot of fun to play with, because it's basically just going to be one long, excellently made AMV, which I am stoked about, with the nerd that I am. But yeah, so for that, what we're mostly looking for are artists, animators, a few music composers, writers as well. Kind of a lot of things that we're looking for there. I wonder if we have anybody in here. There's numbers here, but there's nothing here.
It's weird. The YouTube streaming thing kind of like says there's 5 people watching, but then when we look in the live chat, there seems like
if you're here, just toss out like the hi. Just toss out the simple hi, so that we can know if there's anybody watching this, because yeah.
I mean, we're happy to like talk about ourselves to ourselves, I suppose.
Hey, there we go. We still have some people in here. I don't know what's happening.
We're still trying to get used to the fact that, and we're still like, I think this is probably like the first time in a very long time that we've used YouTube streaming, and so we're still not quite used to how it updates and everything.
The interface is just bogus. I don't know what's going on.
We just don't need to put too much stock in it, I guess.
Cool. Thanks, Pine Tree Dan. I appreciate it. Thanks for letting us know that we're not just talking to ourselves.
I mean, as fun as that is.
Very.
Yeah.
But yeah, so at this point, I mean, basically that's kind of what we're doing with our projects. Banner as a whole, the studio, kind of what we're doing is with all of the projects that we're doing, whether it's radio, show, animation, we do hope to explore like video games, movies, books. Like we want to do a lot of things. We want to do a lot of different mediums, just because we do believe that there are certain stories that exist to be told in specific mediums, and we're excited about that prospect. And so as far as kind of like what we're all about with the things that we're making, it's all character driven. It's all about making well-made, epic, family-friendly, amazing stories that like evoke like emotion and thought. I think there's a lot of stuff out there right now that's just kind of like it's just kind of noise. Like there's a lot of productions that just kind of, I don't know, they just don't land. And so we're focused on making like productions that are truly like character driven.
I see that Pine Tree Dan has asked, in regards to the animated feature, Dissonance, how long are you thinking? Like how long is it? I think might be what the question is.
So as far as like as a whole, ideally we have about 4 seasons planned. That would be like if we can get everything done.
Of an animated TV series.
Yeah. So currently scripted, we have 4. I mean, we're gonna have to start way small because we're small. But so that's kind of where we're at. We'll probably do like standard like 20, 22, 23-minute episodes. About, I think currently we have 13 episodes.
Well, I mean, I know the writers have been starting to work on like the first 10, like the first season. Basically.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Somewhere around there, 10 to 14 episodes per season.
This particular year, we're focusing on making a trailer for Dissonance, and that's what the artists and animators are working very hard on now, and we're hoping to get the trailer done by the end of the year. And during this year, also for Dissonance, I'm the writing lead for Dissonance, and so I'm very in the next week or so, I plan on basically making a plan for like who's going to write. Like we have some drafts of some episodes of season 1, but we need to make progress on them and get those episode scripts done well before the trailer is finished. I see Connie's question there. You submitted your portfolio a couple weeks ago. Has some screenplay excerpts. Do we know when Connie will be updated on recruitment status?
Yes. So Connie, we do have that there, and I'm actually looking at it right now. What our time frame that we're currently looking at, we're basically going to be getting everybody together tomorrow to kind of be making a lot of the decisions of who we're bringing in. And so probably in the next week or so is when we'll probably be doing a lot of reaching out and getting people up to speed and brought into the Banner fam.
I think you said you wanted to get people like brought in at about February 1st or thereabouts.
Yeah, so that was the target. But it'll probably happen all throughout next week, just because we've been getting a lot of stuff.
Meeting tomorrow about portfolios being submitted, and we'll continue to reach out to people over the next week.
No problem, Connie. Thanks for sending all of that in.
Yeah, it's great. Really looking forward to looking over everything that people have sent in. So.
It's gonna be lit.
Yeah.
So just out of curiosity, Pine Tree Dan, are you an animator? Are you an illustrator, writer, audio person? What's your speciality?
What skill level are we looking for art or animation?
We want you to be able to feel confident in your contributions, basically. We do have a certain level of quality that we're aiming for. I don't know if it's necessarily like a quantifiable quality, but we want to make sure that what we put out there is good looking. Even though this is our first animation thing that we're doing, we want to make sure that once we have it done and it's shipped, it's out, and we're showing people, we want to make sure that it's something that we're all very proud of. And so probably the easiest.
Does it help if we explain that the style of animation and quality of animation that we're trying to go for is along the lines of Avatar: The Last Airbender?
I mean, it'll vary.
It'll be. I mean, that's a major inspiration. Obviously, we're not a major studio. We're not like Nickelodeon or anything, but that is the general style of animation. One of the main kind of things we're looking at, and I think maybe our art and animation leads might be able to answer that question better, unfortunately, because I don't think either of us are specifically artists.
Yeah, and it doesn't look. Yeah, so it looks like you're in the art realm. That's awesome.
Animation hobbyist, artist. Yeah, a few years experience when we do hobbyist stuff. Currently a student working getting an animation and game design program.
Lovely.
Yeah, which I think actually a fair number of our artists are kind of in that same boat, aren't they?
Yeah, honestly. And so probably the best thing that you would do, what we would love to have you do, is just send in a little portfolio, some work that you've done, and we can kind of take a look at that and see if that would be a good fit to see if we can get you in here and get you contributing in some way. Because we honestly, like I said, we're just looking for lots of things. Peter, what's up, dog? How's it going?
Hello. Yes.
We got more people showing up.
Drew keeps checking the list of participants when when we know it's not accurate.
Yeah,
So-
it's kind of just like a habit at this point. It's just kind of like the nervous tick.
But yeah, cool. So yeah, glad we could answer your question there, Pine Tree Dan, about that. But yeah, at least from what you described, it sounds like you're on the level of several of our artists and storyboarders. I think like right now our artists are kind of in the storyboards, maybe starting to like sketch some animations for the trailer and things like that.
Yeah.
So,
and like I said, like definitely send something into us, and we can definitely take a look and let you know. Just out of curiosity, for those of you who are in here, what is it that interests you in participating in something like this? I actually I'm always very curious, because like if it was me and I saw some like random thing on the internet that was like, hey, come make art for us, I would be like, nah. And so like for me, like this is something that I'm very, very passionate about. I've worked for many, many years to get this thing up and running and have, you know, the people working on this that I've had. And it's, for me, it's all about putting something good out there. I get so frustrated every time I'm bored, because I'm like, oh, let's watch Netflix, and it's like garbage. And so for me, it's like I want so bad to just put some like good, like wholesome, like feels packed excellence into the world. And so I'm always just curious to see what y'all are trying to do with your art, with your skills,
and also what they see in us from what little they know, honestly.
Yeah.
What experience levels are you looking for in writing? Very good question.
Are you Shakespeare? No.
No. Also, like, let's see. Also, Pine Tree said, working on a team to create fun and stream media. The general process is something I've been interested in for a long. General process. Very cool. Getting back to Peter's question about experience levels for writing. So yeah, so again, I'm not sure how much you were able to catch earlier, Peter, about like us talking about our active projects and stuff. I'm much more involved in writing for the various projects right now. For example, like, you know, I'm the one who wrote and directed the Almost Home production, the We Play Act radio show. At least I personally am not too picky about exactly what writing experience you have. It's especially been my personal experience that the more you write, the better you are at it in general. So even if you haven't like actually taken a creative writing class, or if you haven't like written a novel, I haven't, or something like that. What matters more to me is that there is potential for like, you know, good storytelling, you know, good like believable dialogue, you know, kind of like, I guess, you know, like screenplays or stories that I could engage with, really. I don't think I'm looking for anything too specific, except of course being able to, you know, understand how like this sort of screenplay or play medium works, I guess.
I think the biggest thing that we're looking for in writers, as far as like skill levels, are you willing to just throw shiz at a wall? Because
yeah, it's a good way to
like we have lots of people who can write and can write pretty well, and other people who can't write very well, and all have come up with really great stuff. Because we can edit, we can refine, we can work with things, but I think the biggest thing that we're looking for is people who aren't afraid to just be like, all right, I have the bare bones idea of how an episode or a dialogue or a scene or something like that should go, and I'm just going to full send it, and we can deal with rewrites later.
Actually, as a good example of that, well, first of all, I really like Connie's newest comment there. Love writing and storytelling, taking an opportunity to work on new projects, and you guys seem really fun. Well, thank you.
Hey!
We try.
Oh.
That's very sweet. It's sweet of you to say. But anyway, yeah, so regarding the Almost Home production, as well as the Almost Home prequel that we're working on right now, I actually wasn't the first one to come up with the like story and things like that. That was someone else who's not a writer. He's not like so Ethan. He's been a tremendous production manager and audio engineer as well. He's taking more of a production manager role for right now, but especially for the prequel and also to some degree for Almost Home, he just kind of like came to me and to the rest of the radio show team with like, I have a proposal for a prequel. Here's the main outline of what I want these characters to do, or what I'd like to see this happen, and this could be good. And I looked at that and I thought, honestly, I like that, and I wrote a script for it. I still need to do a little bit of editing for the script, but we looked over the script earlier today, and I'm pretty happy with where we're going so far. And that's because Ethan, who again is not necessarily an official writer, he came up with ideas, and I took those ideas and found ways to express that within the radio medium we're working in.
Yeah.
So
we're a very collaborative lot.
Indeed.
Like a lot of the stuff that we're doing over here is contributions from everyone. Like on our animated story that we're working on, a lot of that story has straight up just come from the artists who are drawing our characters, and they're like, I wonder about this, and then they just
cool
go.
Idea just comes.
They just go.
Very good question from Pine Tree Dan. I've seen a lot of projects rise and fall to the wayside. How dedicated are you guys to building the brand and new media? How long/far do you think it'll go? Genuinely curious. So you're the one who's been in this from the very beginning.
Yeah. So
I came in a year ago. So yeah.
So here's the thing: we can never know. Like I've been working on this thing for years, and it's hard to say like, oh yeah, by this time in 2 years, like we'll be a full up and running studio. Like that's kind of the gamble that we're all just kind of taking with this. As far as my dedication, I am beyond dedicated.
I can vouch for that.
Yeah, we've had people doing stuff for a long time, and we've been working on various bits and pieces for a very long time. And we have to some people have to take breaks and stuff, like when they're going to school or working full time or something like that. We totally get that. Life's life. Things are happening to all of us. We get that. But I really, really want to see this thing exist so bad. A lot of people. Oh. Yeah. So as how vulnerable do I be on stream?
up to you, honestly. I can also say a few things from my experience if you'd like.
I'll say this. I have very deep-seated personal reasons why I want this to happen. Honestly, the biggest thing is that there is nothing that I would want to do more for my career than this. To build something and have a studio that is creating things that I look at and that I'm like, freaking yeah! I love the feeling that I get when I intake good media, and so I want to make more of it because it just seems like more and more that is becoming less of a thing and it's becoming harder to find. And so I just want to put more of that goodness out into the world so bad.
And then also so again, I attended a recruitment meeting almost exactly a year ago, December 2019, and I think I came in January 2020. So I've only seen the past year, but I certainly have heard a fair amount about the few years before. I think Banner Media has been a thing for the past 3 or 4 years or something. So there are at least a couple of years before I came here, and I remember you and a few of the other people who've been here for a long time have said that the past year has seen more progress alone than any of the other Banner Media years previously combined. So,
well, and I think a large portion of the reason why is because technically me and Matt have been working on this since 2013.
Oh, okay.
We've been wanting to do this for a very long time, but we realized if this is going to happen, we can't just do it us and like a few buddies. Like, so we started getting more people involved. We started like putting out random flyers and ads on the internet and see what happens, you know? And we've gone from me and Matt to all of the people that we have now. And we have what, like a solid, how many people are in here? 30 something?
30, almost 40. Yeah, about 30-ish people.
Solid group of people. And like, the thing is it's like, that's what's going to make this thing happen, is more people catching the vision, catching the fervor, seeing what we're about and contributing and being rad. And it's been so lovely to watch because it's actually happening. It's great.
Yeah. So how far do we see this going? We're not sure. If this could be,
let's be Disney, baby.
Woo! Or not. I mean, I don't know. It depends on how you feel about Disney. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
People have differing views about Disney. So anyway, you know, would we love to see Banner Media become a full-time job for everyone involved in it? Yeah, that would be awesome. Will that happen anytime soon? Probably, certainly not. But we're still we're still excited about the things that we are making, and we're excited about the larger projects that we have. And like Drew mentioned earlier, we have there are other bits of media that we want to dip into. I know someone else has like an idea for a graphic novel or something. I know there are a couple of people who are already in Banner who have experience with video game programming, and they might start something with that later down the line. Obviously, we, as ambitious as we are, we've been trying to focus on just these projects that we've already mentioned before, the radio show and Dissonance, so that we don't get ahead of ourselves. But we have been very happy with the progress we've seen so far. Nice comment from Peter. I want nothing more than create a good story. Been burned way too much by modern books, movies, and shows, and I want to actually create something I would want to watch. That's pretty much exactly how Drew seems to feel.
Oh my gosh.
So
I can't tell you how disappointing. Oh my gosh. The list of TV shows that I could just rattle off the top of my head about, concepts that were so cool and then they just sucked. And I was like, come on, guys. The 100. I don't know why. When I the first few episodes, I was like, this is gonna be good. This is freaking sweet. It's like they're, oh gosh, I can't even remember what the premise of the story is now. It's like a bunch of people that could not live on Earth anymore, and so they went and started living in a space station that's orbiting Earth.
Okay.
And then for some scientific reason that's explained in the show that I'm gonna blank on remembering right now, they send the kids back down onto Earth, the 18 and below or something like that, because they were they would be the only ones that would be able to survive the climate or something. I can't remember. And I was like, that's a cool premise. And they find people who survived the exodus off Earth. Such a cool premise. And then it just straight up sucked. And I was like, yeah. So there's so many things like that I could rant for days about TV shows, animes, books, video games, so many things that I just want to make some good, well-made stuff there. And you could argue a million different reasons why. It's it's the way that things are funded and production companies versus studios and all that stuff. And we just want to do it right and just make the good stuff. Mm-hmm. And that's pretty much what we're focused on. And whatever path takes us to being able to make good stuff, that's what we're focused on.
Yeah.
So anyways, rant over.
Rant over. Yeah. That was one of the things that impressed me when I first came to a recruitment meeting a year ago. So among other things too,
my boyish charm.
Well, you weren't the only one there. It was an in-person meeting back in December of 2019. So But yeah. Any other questions or comments that people have about Banner? Things you're curious about with the things we've talked about, or our projects or anything? Or if you're curious about about us or something.
Yeah, so we'll probably wrap this up in the next little bit here. So if you guys do have any more questions, throw them out. Every time we've done this, it freaks out.
What are you trying to do? Oh yeah, here. So Drew is going to try to put in the Gmail for Banner. I mean, if it pings ourselves,
It'll ping ourselves, but it's bannermediastudios@gmail.com.
That's where you want to send that. So if there's something that you want to show us, like your work, portfolio, writing sample, art sample, music production sample, whatever, that's the email you send it to. And that's the email that we starting tomorrow, are going to start reviewing and everything.
Yeah. So if you guys do have stuff and if this is something that interests you, or if you have a few more things that you want to learn a little bit more about, send us an email. We'd be more than happy to go over things with you. Other than that, it looks like we are getting a lack of questions, or we have a huge lag on the stream.
I mean, it could be both, honestly.
Could be both.
Part of the interface is telling us there's 8 people watching. Not sure how true that is.
Who knows, man?
Whatever.
But
I don't question it.
Yeah, want to go ahead and end it there?
Maybe just wait a couple more minutes. In the past, we went an hour long. We're at 40 minutes right now, it looks like. I'd be willing to wait just a few more minutes, and in case maybe someone else comes in or something, or if there's another question that comes up or whatever.
Okay, if y'all don't have any questions,
let's see. Definitely look into it. Since I'm so last minute, we'll have to see. Yeah, I mean,
you're not last minute, dog. You're just in time.
Just in time.
You're just in time. Yeah, no, literally, like it's not that we're like considering those who sent stuff in first. We're just wilding over here, dude.
Yeah, basically, like starting tomorrow, we're just gonna look at that email that Drew put in there, see what's in there, review it, and talk about it, and see how each person can fit in Banner and everything. So yeah, I think maybe wait until I'd be willing to wait until when it says 45 for us.
45.
I don't know. That's in about 2.5 minutes.
Cool. Cool. Yeah. If you guys do have questions, send them. If not, top 3 favorite movies, TV shows, books, video games. What am I missing? Poems.
If you accept anime and/or manga as different mediums from the ones you listed.
Most impactful
sculpture,
favorite sculpture,
painting, photo. I mean, constructed language. Some argue that's a form of art.
Okay. So, yoga pose. Okay, yeah, there we go.
Yoga pose,
yeah. I think there was a time where I was actually really good at doing those yoga poses where you're all up in a pretzel on your hands. And those were the days when I was athletically fit.
I did go through a bit of a regimen a couple of times. Coraline, Hotline Miami, and Zelda. I'm less familiar, so I've heard of Coraline and Hotline Miami. Zelda, though, I love Zelda. I have Hyrule Historia and the other Zelda encyclopedia and stuff. Yeah, so I think Hotline Miami. Yeah, it's a top down.
I don't even think I've seen Hotline Miami.
So that's Hotline Miami. Yeah, Drew's looking it up on Google Images. That's a top down shooter kind of thing. Was it 1980s or 70s or something?
Man, Pinetree, how old are you, dog? You're really showing your age here, bro.
No. It's the style. The
Is
game
it?
wasn't made.
It wasn't made then?
No, it's a more recent one.
Carmen Sandiego is way old. That's when I played Flash games when I was 4.
Carmen Sandiego. There's a newer Carmen Sandiego show. I think.
Really?
Yeah, there's a newer animation or something. Anything Disney. Honestly, I'm still a pretty huge fan. Yeah, a Netflix thing of Carmen Sandiego. Look at
what the heck?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
That's amazing.
That was last year, yeah, or 2 years ago, something like that. I haven't watched it yet. I think I would like to actually.
Gosh,
I do remember watching the old Carmen Sandiego game show as a kid.
Yeah.
And I even had a couple of edutainment computer.
Yeah,
games.
that's what I
Yeah,
have.
okay,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Carmen
yeah,
San
yeah, yeah,
Diego,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, Connie, literally, I watched Tangled yesterday morning, and I still weep to it a little bit. So you know what? There's that.
Anything Disney. I'm a pretty big fan of, like, and I mean, my wife and I have been watching Mandalorian as well, so
Oof.
I know that's more Star Wars than Disney, I guess, but still. Anyway,
So good.
yeah, 21. Okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, Hotline Miami is a more
You're an old soul, Pine Tree Dan.
old soul. I mean, some of us. I mean, I'm older.
Some
than
of us
you
are actually old. How old are you?
I'm in, like, I say on the internet, I say late 20s, early 30s. I don't say my exact age online.
Is that a bad idea to say your age?
If people find out your exact birthday, because
I guess
I'm just extra careful, because I say that I'm a Libra, like my birthday is around October, and so if people kind of like try to, I don't know, I'm slightly paranoid.
I don't
People
know.
like try to connect the dots about, like, oh, your birthday is this and this year, and anyway.
Dang. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would
yeah.
probably get like swatted so fast if people were actually watching us all the time.
Anyway, that's just me. Like, you know, that's just me on the internet being overly cautious, because as serendipitous, I have a bit of a following in the Brawlhalla community, so I know there's a good chunk of people who know.
Are you Steph?
Are you searching me serendipitous on? Okay, yeah.
You have like a good amount of
Yeah,
followers
there it
last
is.
time I checked. Yeah.
Yeah.
Look
Got
at
about
you.
5,000
Look at you.
5,000 followers on Twitter.
So popular.
Anyway, yeah. Looks like Pine Tree Dan's been following animators on Twitter who worked on Carmen San Diego.
Oh, that's cool.
Adore looking behind the scenes process.
Oh, same.
I agree. Tangled is awesome, Connie.
So good. My soul. Cool. All right. Well, hey, thanks y'all for hopping in and hanging out with us for a little bit. We're gonna go ahead and end there.
And finally, yeah, like we said before, any questions that were not answered, email them, bannermediastudios@gmail.com, and we'll look forward to reaching out to you guys.
Yeah, we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Thanks for hopping in, guys. Have a good night. Be safe. Be happy.
Take care. Nice.